provide some of the outstanding entertainment we've seen in rings all over the world throughout the year. 1984's been the year when Larry Holmes took another step towards Rocky Marciano's unbeaten record. We said goodbye to two all-time greats, Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran. And Marvin Hagler and Thomas Hearns blasted the opposition away and headed for a multi-million-dollar showdown in 1985. Our first fight took place in January, but it's been acclaimed as one of the fights of the decade. Ray Boom Boom Mancini and Bobby Chacon met in Reno, Nevada for the WBA lightweight title, a couple of fighters whose styles more suited to a telephone booth than a ring. Mancini is in the red trunks.
So round two. Mancini winning the first round for me, always stamping a bit of authority on the fight. When it comes to heart, believe me, it's even money match there. But the odds must be on the champion. Taking far less punishment in his time, but Chacon normally soaks it up and then comes back. That's why it's been so attractive. But it's Mancini all the way in the second. Rough, tough, nobody's, as they say, taking liberties. They're not really butting heads, and the referee keeping good control. But what a fight it is. No way they could keep this going for 15, but Chacon's been known to do it in the past, but surely it's caught up with him by now. Almost rooted to the canvas there, the challenger.
Watch the head, watch the head.
And the referee saying, watch the heads. But still not calling break, you'll notice. Hold your breath through this one. These fellas are going to keep this up all night. This is where they sort the men from the boys in this business. I'm wondering if Chacon's trying to save some strength by standing still. They just have not moved from that spot. Bare knuckle fighters used to fight on a handkerchief. These fellas can do it. So what's all this about? They don't make fighters like they used to. A little bit of shoving going on from Mancini too to get the opponent in position to start throwing punches. Chacon marked around the left eye. What a battle. Worrying about battling each other with science. They've had a big build-up. Everybody's expecting a war, and that's what they're getting. The countdown for the second round.
Keep him up, Bobby. Keep him up, Bobby. Keep him up.
You hear the referee saying, keep them up, keep the punches above the waistlines, but these fellas are not complaining. They've got the obligatory foul-proof protectors on anyway. They're relieved to hear that bell with a friendly touch of gloves. Into the third, and they've patched Chacon up. But for how long? Because really Mancini bang on top of his game here. Incredible when you think that he had a shoulder separation in a freak sparring accident when he was in South Africa. It's obviously feeling no effects at all. And had an easy win last time out. That we saw on ITV when he defeated Johnny Torres on the Frazier-Holmes bill. There they go again, same spot at the ring, and pattern resumed, and the tank steaming on again.
Keep him up, keep him up.
Sometimes Chacon seems as though he welcomes these wars before he comes back and gets into the battle, but he's under fire there. Richard Steele, having seen him in the Bozer Edwards fights from close up like that, you're wondering how long he will let him go on. Normally an American chap who championship fights have to take a bit of a beating before the referee will go in. What a battle this is. And he's primed surely to go in there, the referee. Yes, he has. He almost got caught with a punch. It may have been a bit premature in Chacon's eyes, but he is not complaining.
Well, what a great fight that was. I'm certainly glad I wasn't the referee trying to get in between those two. By the way, since then, Mancini has lost his title to Livingston Bramble, another fight you probably saw on World of Sport. Now, one of the oldest boxing cliches is that they never come back. That most gifted of world champions, Sugar Ray Leonard, tried it in May against Kevin Howard and must have wished he hadn't bothered.
Oh, well, that's what they call a feint. I almost jump out of the ring when he does that, as though he's going to attack you and doesn't. It's a bit flashy, but he gets away with it. There's no lateral movement in Howard. That's the problem. Oh, the old shuffle going to work there. He loves that, Leonard. Oh, what a turn-up for the book. Well, that'll teach him to get too flash and take liberties. He got hit with a good right-hand shot there, and you're bound to say, hey, Ray, serves you right, you asked for that one.
So Sugar Ray Leonard down for the first time in his professional career. He went on to win that fight, but then made the bravest decision of all to call it a day. The year's most controversial world title fight took place in Buffalo, New York in June, when Gene Hatcher and Johnny Bumphus clashed for the WBA light welterweight crown. Bumphus, the champion, is wearing maroon and yellow trunks, and what a night of mayhem it turned out to be.
And there's a packed crowd in Buffalo waiting for just any opportunity to give Hatcher a cheer. They went crazy for him when he got on top at one point. Well, there it is. You see the crowd lifting, but the countdown coming up for this round is too late for Hatcher. And that's it, the end of the round, and some exchange of punches afterwards, and the referee's over. What a turn-up this is. As the managers come in, they're not going to fight each other. That's against their rules. But they honestly didn't hear that bell. I'm sitting right next to the bell, and it's difficult to hear. And Duva's going crazy with the referee, saying it was the other guy that went on punching. Get over there and tell him. Well, there seems to be more action going after the bell than during it in that round. So we can have a look at replay there. We come up the end of the round. That's where Lobianco came in, but he actually slipped. And really, it was silly of them to carry on punching. But he did used to be a professional fighter, Lobianco. That's just as well. So the 11th round of the championship, and it's really hotted up into quite a needle match. And if the referee got caught with a punch or two, there's one man in Britain that won't cry. That's Ken Buchanan, because it was this man, Lobianco, that refereed him against Roberto Duran when he lost the championship. And they're really steaming in again in the 11th round. Bumphus ahead, and Hatcher knowing that he's got to take the fight to the champion in the last part of this fight. Referee was a bit unlucky there when he... That's the trouble when the boxers don't obey the words break and you have to physically dive in. It's risky to a referee. So we're now saying, can Hatcher cancel out the champion's points lead? I would think the referee will be just a little bit more hesitant now about diving in. So there he goes again. You better watch it. But he isn't yelling break, the referee. That's what I don't understand. You can't blame the boxers. They're waiting for him to come in before they part. So it's roughhouse stuff now from Hatcher, because that's the only way he can win, is to draw Bumphus into a two-handed fight. What a shot! Unbeaten, and I don't think he's going to make this, Bumphus. He's appealing to the referee. He understands what's happening. Hatcher looks as though he thinks he's won it. He's got the mandatory 8 count. And the fight goes on in the 11th round. Pushing, shoving. He's gone down without a punch. I've never seen anything like this. It looks a bit like all-in wrestling. The managers are going crazy in the corner. The underdog, Mad Dog Hatcher, looks as though he can take the championship, and he's got less than half a minute to do it in the 11th, and he stops it in the 11th round, and there's going to be a row in the ring. They're going crazy with the referee. Hatcher's people there, you can understand jubilation. Bumphus' people, they're pushing and shoving him. They're really going crazy here. And the manager, Lou Duva, having to be held back, an old professional fighter. That really is out of hand. He mustn't do that. What a scene at the end of the fight here. They're restricting Johnny Bumphus as well. Everybody is being held back.
Well, quite astonishing scenes there. Hatcher is about to make his first offence of that fight. And welcome back to our World Championship Boxing Review of 1984. Now, it's a rare event when two world champions get together in the same ring. It happened in Las Vegas in June when Thomas Hearns faced Roberto Duran. Duran, who resurrected his career the year before when he went the distance with Marvin Hagler. Hearns had said the hitman would return. Duran's career demanded a final hurrah.
He says he wants to be the hitman. And he started off very determined, and Duran backs away. A rare sight, a good opening flurry. Come on, hit me again, says Duran. And Hearns just does that. Have a bit more. Duran waves him in, scores with a right. What an opening round. A grin from Duran as though he loves being hit. If you ask why he's been around so long, it's purely because he loves being in there. But he took one there, and he's taken some more. And almost contemptuously, he waved Hearns on, and Hearns tried to wrestle him down and gets a warning. And just looking at Duran, looking at the side of his face, I think he's got a mark. I think he's marked down the left side of his face. Clubbing right hand, and he is marked. Duran looks to be cut. Left eye. And down! Roberto Duran, sixth in the first. Going to take the standing 8 count for sure. What a sensational start coming towards the end of the first. He's got 15 seconds to survive, and he's in desperate trouble, Duran. The hitman is pouring in. He's sitting on the rope. Coming to the end, and he's down again in the first. And up very quickly indeed. It's the end of the fourth. Another standing count. And it's going to be over a sensational first round. And Duran has walked to the wrong corner. Doesn't know where he is. What a round for the hitman, Thomas Hearns. Duran is cut. He's been decked twice. Round 2. Can Duran come back after that appalling start? Will Hearns finish it in 2, as he said so? Duran is going to need all his ring craft and all his spirit now. Hearns has got him going in the second again. Is this the end of a great career for Duran? Pinned in his own corner. Another brilliant flurry from Hearns. He wants to finish it now. Duran is holding on and hugging and trying every trick in the book. Hearns can't wait to get on with it again. Duran is smiling, and they're saying it's all over around me. He won't be able to take too much more of this. His guard's down, he's fighting back. It's his instincts that are keeping him alive there. It's... Oh, Thomas Hearns, a right hand! That's got to be it! That's got to be it in the second for Duran. Battered by a right hand, his seconds are in, and it's all over. It's all over.
Roberto Duran's last fight, the end of a legend. Duran, victim of what one American writer called a mugging in Caesar's Palace car park. And now Thomas Hearns is set to fight the next man on our World Championship bill. That's marvellous Marvin Hagler, a fellow who's always resented the lack of acclaim he's received and has often made his opponents pay for that. Mustafa Hamsho needed nearly 60 stitches after their first fight. I can't think why he came back for a second helping.
Hagler would like to keep this fight at long range. He doesn't want to get... You see, that's where he's so good, with the longer punches anyway. And getting inside with body fighting, well, that's Hamshaw's turf.
Stop holding, Hamshaw!
Well, this ring's pitched on the ice rink at Madison Square Garden, but it'll take a lot more than that to cool this one down.
Stop holding and hitting!
Stop holding and hitting, says McCanty.
Watch your head!
Hasn't got much style, Hamshaw, but he's a wearing down fighter, but the right hand right on the chin there. He softened him up earlier with that one. But toughness is not being related to winning as far as Hamshaw's concerned. He looks as in trouble. It's 7-8. He's making it clear. He's getting the mandatory 8. But he is definitely in a lot of trouble here, Hamshaw. And Hagler can do it in the third. So all the pre-fight tactics haven't really paid off. He's got to get in there and try and slug it out. Hopefully take the play away a bit from Hagler now. But I doubt if he can do it. Almost losing his trunks too. If Hagler picks his punches now, actually pot shots, he can't miss Hamshaw, I should say. Just on instinct now, Hamshaw, it's all he's doing. He went 11 rounds last time, but he won't be able to do it here, I don't think. He's floundering. Oh, and the right hand again. There was almost a delay as he went down. Al Certo, the manager, says no more. He's in there, a compassionate act there by the manager, and the referee couldn't understand why he came in. But I hand that to Al Certo to get into the ring because he could see Hamshaw had it.
Well, after that, the WBC stripped Marvin Hagler of his title because he'd agreed to fight 15 instead of their 12 rounds. Surely the worst decision of 1984. Well, finally to a man in sight of a boxing record. 35-year-old Larry Holmes is aiming to beat Rocky Marciano's 49-fight unbeaten run in the heavyweight division. Victim number 46 was Bone Crusher Smith earlier this month.
Well, certainly turned into a gory fight.
Come on, turn him loose.
Does look a sad and gory sight now, Smith, and I really would hope the referee would get in here. He's well behind on points anyway. He's given all he's got. He's given more than he's got midway through the 12th.
Hold it up.
And he can certainly go out with a badge of courage. Take time off. And he's calling Smitty to him. He thinks the fight's over, Smith, but it isn't. He wants the other doctor to have a look. And I do hope that he stops it this time, and I think he will, because he's explaining to Smith, I'd like you to go on, but it's all over. I thought that was what he would say, and I have to say, not before time in the 12th round, but Bone Crusher Smith here looks as though he's been run over by a truck and is still